I'm fine, sir.
Mm.
It's a big time good morning to your cherished listeners and to everyone making time to listen to your show.
Mm. Um, First, give us an account of what happened on the 28th before we go to exactly where all this started. But what happened in your particular case?
Well, in my situation, I was actually on bed at around 3 a.m. getting to 4 a.m. And we heard that our door banging and dogs were barking. So I got up, tried to check out what's happening. And it was just that open, open, open. So I said, okay, we opened the gate. And all I realized was all the men in the house should come out. And my other two brothers equally came out to join me. It was where they asked us, where are the guns? We told them we don't have any gun. We realized someone was already beaten up and his head, full of blood. And they asked him to join us. And they asked us to lie down. So we're lying down and they started hitting us from left, right, center, back. Left, right, center, back. And they were asking us, where are the guns? We said we don't have any gun in this house. So that was what transpired at the forecourt of my house. So they moved us. We are not far from the street. They moved us out on the street and asked us to start rolling. We started rolling and asked us to get up and start hopping. We started hopping again. So it's about a 300-meter distance from where they now gathered all of us. When we got there, already people were seriously brutalized, and they were asked to lie down on their stomachs and their heads on the floor, and from one punishment to the other. When we got there, beneath my feet is difficult to walk because they made us lie down. They used some 2x2 wood to always hit on it and ask you to change the other leg. They hit again. And they asked us to get up, move, and join the lane. And that was where they would step on us from here to there. And others were holding a belt, others were using wire, others were using all sorts of weapons to lash us persistently. And I can say closely, were lashed for more than 2 hours. From that moment till 6 a.m.
So from around 4 a.m. till 6 a.m., you and the other persons were victims of this brutality.
Yes, we were victims of this brutality. My direct brothers, as I speak to you. And one was just, keep hitting our heads, and that he wants to see blood. He wants to see blood. And he kept hitting my head, and I have afro. So he did not see blood, so he was disturbed. That why? Why is it that my head is not busting? He must see blood. That was what he was just saying. So the whole thing happened that way. And they kept beating us, the two district chief executives for Garu and Tempani. They actually came to the scene and trying to see if they could intervene. But to my experience, I realized it wasn't fatal. So they left, and later they came again. So this whole thing happened after the panic stars. As I speak to you, my head is not easy. My ribs, I am equally experiencing some problems. So I'm thinking of going for some serious scan, which we cannot have here in Garu. I have to go and check my system and ensure that maybe there are no some internal bleedings. A lot has happened to me personally, I should say, and other people. I can even say it was worse because the number of people that were gathered at the point and the brutality was moving on were worth more than 200 people. So it wasn't actually a small scene. After beating us for that long period, asked us to get up. They started taking phones that people came out with. Unfortunately, I was in a boxer pant, relaxing in my room, thinking I was, enjoying my privacy. All I realized was come out, come out. So when I went out with that, even the ring I was wearing, they asked me to give it to them. Just the ring I was wearing, they picked it.
They took your ring.
My ring, picked other people's phones. Those that had money in their pockets, they picked them. And we don't know where they are. My senior brother came out with his smartphone. They took it away. So that is what I can narrate as what transpired on grounds. And after everything, they now lay down from two lanes, some other soldiers on the right and others on the left, and asked us to run for our lives. They asked us to run for our lives. So, and they were hitting us with different kind of weapons just to punish us. So that was where we had our freedom, and we got home. Everybody with the degree of injury, and everybody had to find a way to go to the hospital. So I went home, changed up, and I went to the hospital. And a lot of people, victims, were already there. And our Garu hospital is not even a hospital, it's a health facility. It's a health facility. It's a medical center, sorry. The place was even too small to accommodate all of us. It took interventions of other people to get us more mattresses so that they can actually get the patients. The NPP women organizer supported with some mattresses. And had it not been for the intervention of Dr. Enock Anaba, the facility could not have actually gotten medications to attend to us too as well. So it was something so serious, and they were running helter-skelter, trying to get people to support. In fact, it was an eyesore, I should say. As I speak to you currently, I am trying to go back for a review so I could see my current condition. So that is the ordeal I went through in the hands of the military.
And you say currently you walking is a difficulty.
Yes, actually, because of the way they were using the wounds to hit on our legs, we're lying just on our stomachs, and they'll ask you to raise your left leg, and they'll hit on it. They'll ask you to raise the right leg, they'll hit on it again. So there are a lot of pains in my legs. So walking is a problem for me as I speak.
Did they at any point in time search your rooms if they were looking for guns to see if you really had guns?
Well, that is a point. You see, in this state, I would like to say that I was really getting a bit confused when it was that the first point when we came out from our various rooms and they started beating us. They said, "Where are the guns?" That was the first thing. But as continuously they were still beating us from 300 meters away from my house, they were now saying that you people could not advise your brothers to stop, exchanging guns, civilians fighting the military, or certainly the national security, that we should have advised. And one of them said, it's not that they should advise, that they are even part. Those were some of the comments I gathered. It wasn't actually easy, I should say.
Enock, aside the matter of the difficulty in walking, any other pains you're feeling? What else?
Yes, I experienced, although the lashes at my back, had it been a TV station, I could have actually just shown you directly. But those lashes, I know they are wounds and pains, and it will go. But where I have a difficulty is around my ribs. There was a serious knock around my ribs. So I still have a difficulty there, and that is where I have a problem. When I got to bed yesterday, I realized that I felt the pain. Anytime I roll to sleep on it, it doesn't really help me. And this is why I want to still seek for serious medical attention.
And he said, as at the time you were taken to the place, you had about 200 other people there.
Yes, a lot of them, because they actually deployed the military to different zones. They moved in numbers to different places, And when they knock and you come out, they just pick you and start beating you till they get to the place where I would say the collation center of the brutality. That was where it happened, how it happened. So they were just beating people from homes and gathering us at one point. Others were beaten and asked to leave and go home. But a lot. As I speak to you, the numbers we are speaking of, that they were brutalized. Actually, something me, myself, I cannot tell, because others were brutalized and left to go home. But the number we gathered at around the community center of Garu wasn't something small. It wasn't a little number.
Did you see them gather any guns? Did they get any guns? Like you said,
Well,
they were looking for.
I cannot ascertain any fact as to whether they retrieved guns. But what I know they weren't actually looking for guns, and I have not seen anywhere they have mentioned that, okay, we have retrieved gun from this person, so this gun belongs to this person. At least we should have that picture. If you retrieve the gun from me, certainly the gun, you should be able to tell me that this person, we found this gun in his house. But that did not happen. I don't want to overspeak out of security issues.
Okay.
That's why I'm being careful. If not, what transpired was so serious. An assemblyman for the Garu Natenga electoral area was not around. When they got in, they said, where is the father? The guy is 6 years old. Upon entering, and the guy said the father is not there, they started beating the little boy with some wires, electrical cables. They gave it to the guy.
The assemblyman's son?
Yes.
Was also beaten up?
Was beaten up. The Natenga electoral area, the son, who is 6 years, was beaten
6 years old?
6 years old. I think if you follow that story on TV3, you'd catch it up more.
I see.
Yes. That is the level of our situation where we are complaining and equally seeking that government shouldn't let this matter continue. Just like I overheard you speak, that the Ayawasowas wagon, the issue.
Yes.
It's almost becoming a norm of the military services, and we really don't see how they are operating. We depend on them for security, but how they handle us. The number of people that were gathered and were mercilessly, others have been taken to Tamale. One from Bugri yesterday in the morning, one in Garu, and another this morning just left because he was still vomiting blood. I have a brother, he cannot even hear anything. But the medical health directors here said they can manage that situation. We don't know the fate of his health. So the brutality level was so serious that we actually think that something so serious should be done about it, sir.
Do you need some special urgent attention, not only for you, but everybody who was involved, beyond what Dr. Anaba and a few others are able to do for you in the immediate? Do you need some urgent special attention?
Well, I would say that maybe benevolence and other people that can be of help, if they can get some better scan machines to come and know the level or the various degree of injuries we have sustained. Because as we speak, we cannot tell what is happening internally. We might not know. Because even people at the age of even 70 plus, he was beaten and his arm got broken. And even at his pelvis, it twisted a bit. So that old man, we just don't know what will happen to his fate. That is our problem. So we are crying to everyone who can be of support. The regional minister yesterday visited the Chief Palace. And His Excellency Stephen Yakubu visited the Chief Palace, and that he assured that they were going to look at the matter, and those that were still held hostage, about 8 of our brothers are still there. And the chief was very mad that they should release them to us. So he came and promised to give us 10,000 to support our medical bills. And fortunately, he came with the deputy YEA, Mr. Alhaji Bashir, and he equally promised us 10,000. But they are saying that's coming from their pocket, but whatever the government would do to help victims that sustain injuries from the military brutality, they would let us know. So I think so far this is the information we can be speaking of.
Enock, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning, and wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Enock Anaba is a victim of the military brutality in Garu. He said they basically knocked on his gates and said, "Come out." When they all came out, they said the men in particular should step out. And so he himself and 2 of his brothers stepped out, and that was when it all started. Initially, the question was, where are the guns? And then these are state security. They then even proceeded to even take every possession of theirs they can find. He said his ring was taken, somebody's smartphone was taken, others' phones were taken. They were basically taking things from them as if they were robbing them, sort of. That was the extent of thing that was done in Garu. Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about something else.